La iniciativa Global Clinton ha reunido a miles de líderes mundiales, ejecutivos de negocios, laureados con el Premio Nobel de la Paz y pensadores e innovadores a tomar medidas para solucionar algunos de los problemas más apremiantes del mundo. Hasta la fecha, los miembros de la iniciativa Global Clinton son cerca de 2.100 y ya se han mejorado las vidas de casi 400 millones de personas en 180 países. La Alianza para una Generación Más Sana, una alianza entre la Fundación y la Asociación Americana del Corazón, está poniendo freno al aumento de la obesidad infantil en los Estados Unidos. Más de 14,000 escuelas en todos los 50 estados están proporcionando a sus estudiantes entornos de aprendizaje saludables y 30 millones de alumnos tendrán acceso a comidas más saludables en sus escuelas. El presidente Clinton durante mucho tiempo se ha dedicado a la promoción económica y la Fundación trabaja para traer oportunidades económicas para las comunidades menos favorecidas en Estados Unidos, África y América Latina, conectando gente con las herramientas que necesitan para construir un sustento de vida digno. Creo que todos estaremos de acuerdo en que el mundo no sería el mismo hoy sin el liderazgo del presidente Clinton en sus más de 35 años de servicio público. Así que, por favor, quiero que me acompañen en darle una cálida bienvenida a Honduras y a UNITEC al presidente Bill Clinton y mostrarle su agradecimiento durante el huracán Mitch. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you for the wonderful welcome. Rector Zelaya, thank you for making me feel so at home here. This is the 10th Laureate University I have visited, but I have looked very much forward to coming back here. Mayor Alvarez, thank you for being here. I'd like to thank Bruce Brunson and Matt Yale from the Laureate Network for joining me, and your former president, Rafael Caellas, is here, and I don't know if former President Flores is here, but I worked with him after Hurricane Mitch. And I came to Honduras and became, from that day forward, extremely interested in this country. When I went home as president, I tried to change the laws so that the Hondurans who had no way of making a living here could stay in the United States, and we changed the trade laws in 2000 so that we could buy more of your products. And then we had the big debt relief initiative in 2000, which enabled Honduras to save enough money to increase by 3 years the number of children getting schooling here. So I have followed this country for more than 10 years now very closely, and I am very honored to be back. The 21st century will reward the countries that develop their human capital and build on their strengths. It's easier to solve problems if good things are happening. Ask yourself this: if everyone in Honduras had a good education and access to employment and could make a decent living, what would happen to all your problems? They would all be smaller, wouldn't they? Smaller problems are easier to solve than big problems, everywhere. So, for whatever it's worth, I hope there will be more students here and throughout Honduras developing their God-given abilities. I hope there will be more cooperation between the government, the private sector, and a rising NGO movement. And I hope the United States will be a good friend to you and a partner in achieving your aspirations. But I urge you all not to be pessimistic. This current global financial problem was not of your making, as you well know. It started in the United States, it spread around the world, but it was caused by the fact that there was too little productive investment, so that financial wealth became too concentrated in real estate in a few places. And it caused a cascade of distress throughout the world. We will sort that out. And as we do, you will have your chance to make your future. Thank you very much.
Tenemos una sesión de preguntas y respuestas que fueron preparadas por nuestros alumnos. We have a Q&A session, Mr. President, 2 for students and 1 on the faculty.
You know, the great thing about not being president anymore is that I can say whatever I want. The sad thing is no one cares so much anymore, but I can say it. But I have the worst of both worlds because my wife is Secretary of State. So back home, if I make a mistake, they care a lot about that because then it can be used to beat her up. But I look forward to this. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. The first question comes from Marcela Vargas. Is she here? This is the student. Make the question. How can globalization benefit Honduran education, a country where 2/3 of the population is under 30 years old and 60% lives in poverty?
Well, first of all, because of look at, again, think of every problem you think you have and ask, is there an opportunity in it? The country's not too big. So this is a country where we should be able to get people who have resources both within and outside the country to bring the school children, for example, all over Honduras, this global movement to have 1 laptop per child. And if every child in every developing country in the world had a low-cost computer with the power to hook it up to the internet, then those children would have access in every language in the world to the finest textbooks in the world. Overnight. How can you use technology to overcome 2 things? Poverty, which is heavily concentrated, not just in Honduras, but throughout the world, in rural areas. So I would try to organize some effort here to bring the benefits of technology to every poor community in the country. Secondly, I think that I can tell you what I'm doing in Haiti. As I said, and their incomes are much lower than yours. We recognize there's no instant salvation for this country's economy. But the Haitians are very gifted people. In the U.S., they are less than 2% of our African American population, but they are 11% of our African American doctors, for example.